Amazon was actually an online bookstore founded in the garage by Bezos. How's a smart entrepreneur worked keenly to evolve a hundreds of billion dollars empire? It is a story of motivation and inspiration for youth, who are actually the commanding force of future. Bezos was born Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen on January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, to Jacqueline and Ted Jorgensen. At the time of his birth, his mother was a 17-year-old high school student and his father was 19. Ted was a Danish-American unicyclist born in Chicago to a family of Baptists. After completing high school, despite challenging conditions, Jacqueline attended night school, bringing her baby with her. Jeff attended a Montessori school in Albuquerque when he was 2. Ted struggled with alcohol and with his finances. Jacqueline left her husband to live with her parents, filing for divorce in June 1965 when Jeff was 17 months old. After his parents divorced, his mother married Cuban immigrant Miguel Bezos in April 1968. Shortly after the wedding, Mike adopted 4-year-old Jeff, whose surname was then legally changed from Jorgensen to Bezos. Jacqueline, her husband, and her son left the area and asked Ted to discontinue contact, to which he agreed. Jeff attended River Oaks Elementary School in Houston from 4th to 6th grade. Jeff displayed scientific interests and technological proficiency, and once rigged an electric alarm to keep his younger half-siblings out of his room. The family moved to Miami, Florida, where Jeff attended Miami Palmetto High School. In high school, he worked at McDonald's as a short-order line cook during the breakfast shift. Bezos attended the Student Science Training Program at the University of Florida. In his graduation speech, Bezos told the audience that he dreamed of the day when mankind would colonize space. A local newspaper quoted his intention to get all people off the Earth and see it turned into a huge national park. After graduating from high school in 1982, Bezos attended Princeton University. He initially majored in physics, but later switched to electrical engineering and computer science. After Bezos graduated from college in 1986, he was offered jobs at Intel, Bell Labs, and Anderson Consulting, among others. He first worked at FITEL, a fintech telecommunications startup, where he was tasked with building a network for international trade. Bezos was promoted to head of development and director of customer service. He transitioned into the banking industry when he became a product manager at Bankers Trust from 1988 to 1990. From 1990 to 1994, he worked at D.E. Shaw and Company, a newly created hedge fund with a strong emphasis on mathematical modeling. Bezos became D.E. Shaw's 4th senior vice president by age 30. How a garage-based online bookstore turned into a worth of $285 billion US, Amazon.com. In spring 1994, Bezos read that web usage was growing at a rate of 2,300% a year, and eventually decided to establish an online bookstore. He and his then-wife, Mackenzie Scott, left their jobs at D.E. Shaw and founded Amazon in a rented garage in Bellevue, Washington, on July 5, 1994. After writing its business plan on a cross-country drive from New York City to Seattle. With Bezos at the helm and Scott taking an integral role in its operation, writing checks, keeping track of the books, and negotiating the company's first freight contracts, the foundation was laid for this garage-run operation to grow exponentially. Prior to settling in Seattle, Bezos had investigated setting up his company at an Indian reservation near San Francisco in order to avoid paying taxes. Bezos initially named his new company Cadabra, but later changed the name to Amazon. He accepted an estimated $300,000 from his parents as an investment in Amazon. He warned many early investors that there was a 70% chance that Amazon would fail or go bankrupt. Although Amazon was originally an online bookstore, Bezos had always planned to expand to other products. 3 years after Bezos founded Amazon, He took it public with an initial public offering, IPO. In 1998, Bezos diversified into the online sale of music and video, and by the end of the year, he had expanded the company's products to include a variety of other consumer goods. Jeff followed a major loss in the 2000s upon the business failure of his major acquisitions in Pet.com and Konzo.com. By the end of 2000, Bezos borrowed $2 billion from banks, as its cash balances dipped to only $350 million. However, the company continued to expand despite its losses, and in 2002, Bezos led Amazon to launch Amazon Web Services, which compiled data from weather channels and website traffic. Revenues stagnated later that year, and after the company nearly went bankrupt, he closed distribution centers and laid off 14% of the Amazon workforce. In 2003, Amazon rebounded from financial instability and turned a profit of $35 million. In November 2007, Bezos launched the Amazon Kindle. In 2013, Bezos secured a $600 million contract with the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, on behalf of Amazon Web Services. 65. In October of that year, Amazon was recognized as the largest online shopping retailer in the world. Incorporation of Blue Origin. Blue Origin maintained a low profile until 2006, when it purchased a large tract of land in West Texas for a launch and test facility. Bezos indicated his interest in reducing the cost of space travel for humans, while also increasing the safety of extraterrestrial travel. In 2015, Bezos announced that a new orbital launch vehicle was under development and would make its first flight in the late 2000s. Later in November, Blue Origin's New Shepard space vehicle successfully rocketed into space and reached its planned test altitude of 329,839 feet, 100.5 kilometers, before executing a vertical landing back at the launch site in West Texas. In December 2017, New Shepard successfully flew and landed dummy passengers, amending and pushing its human space travel start date into late 2018. What are the other expeditions of Jeff Bezos? On August 5, 2013, Bezos announced his purchase of the Washington Post for $250 million in cash. To execute the purchase, he established limited liability company Nash Holdings to serve as a holding company through which he would own the newspaper. Bezos makes personal investments through his venture capital vehicle, Bezos Expeditions. He was one of the first shareholders in Google when he invested $250,000 in 1998. That $250,000 investment resulted in 3.3 million shares of Google stock, worth about $3.1 billion in 2017. He also invested in Unity Biotechnology, a life extension research firm hoping to slow or stop the process of aging. In healthcare sector, he invested in Unity Grail, Juno Therapeutics, and ZocDoc. How's you find the success story of Jeff Bezos? Keep watching and subscribe for such informative videos.